Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. I am Lily. Welcome.
And I'm Lauren. How are you all?
Thank you so much for joining us today. We have some really good ideas and content that we wanted to talk about. One of the first things we really wanted to focus on, one of our initial videos we thought was important, something that I took a while to learn in different stages. I think you might agree with me, Lauren. Spiritual lingo. There's
That's a
so
big
much
one.
out there, and it's hard to just find a place where maybe you can find a lot of it at once and get someone's perspective, because everyone is going to have a different definition.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, it is a lot to consume. And also, if it's not in one spot, it could be hard to find all this information. But that's why we're here to deliver in one
And you know
spot.
what? On what you just said, I have in the past had ideas of something that I think means something, and I've researched it and I'm like, no, it doesn't mean that to me. And I'll keep looking. So hopefully we can give someone a definition that they can relate to.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that probably my definition, well, we are going to start. Let's start and
Let's make it
cleanse
official.
our energy before we even get into it today.
I have a white candle.
And I have some Palo Santo. I
White
really love the smell of this. What flavor is your candle?
I have to say it was gifted to me recently by a very sweet person. It's a strawberry. I was going to say rose, but there's an accent mark, so that is rosé.
Oh, rosé. Okay, bougie.
I don't drink, but my candle might get me drunk.
And now I'm going to put some of that beautiful Palo Santo into your aura.
Oh my gosh. Maybe we should start with that. People are like, what is this lady doing? What is this Palo Santo? I'll start with the Spanish part of it. It's called Palo Santo. That means holy stick, but I think you were calling it, what did you used to call it?
I wasn't sure, so I used to call it Santo Palo.
Which is equally as fine. It's just, so that one is a stick that is holy, and she was calling it a holy stick. It's all holy and great, and it smells so good. I wish we had smell-o-vision.
I wish you could smell this right now. It is everything.
One day in
And
the
it really
future.
cleanses my aura and my energy. Before we get into this, I just feel a lot more grounded. I don't know if that does that for you.
Palo Santo, check. What does it do? What does it make people feel? For me, because smell is such an important part of our memories, a lot of spiritual practices for people that are beginning in this, a lot of them take place in a special room or something, and someone will be burning some Palo Santo. So in general, when I smell it, it just takes me places. It brings memories back to me.
100%. And I think that
All cleansed.
it reminds me of like what ancestors might have smelled, back in the day. And I just feel like it transports me back to a spiritual realm of just peace, cleanliness, and purity.
Yeah. And that's what it does. And there's also, for anyone interested, scientific side of it that you can look up that you might not find in the spiritual side of the but you can look up some scientific stuff and how it can help you. Let's get to it though. We have affirmations. I kind of wanted to go through these in the order, and you tell me, Lauren, how this goes for you, because we at the end of this want to talk about how this can be applied in someone's day, how all of this can be applied, all the information, all the words we're going to give you are going to tell you how we apply them. And I wanted to start with affirmations because that's one of the first ways that I start my day. And what are affirmations? So Lauren, I'll let you take it away. What are affirmations for you?
So affirmations to me are positive words of encouragement, and it is a way that I personally utilize, and I'm sure others are utilizing it. It's to retrain your brain on things that maybe you have a blockage from something from a childhood that makes you feel you're not worthy of something or you're not deserving of something. And if you practice affirmations and you try to, which affirmations are words of encouragement, for example, I am enough. I am worthy of success. I am attracting genuine friendships in my life. These are all affirmations, but what is it saying? It's saying things that I am, reminding my brain, I am these things. And it helps raise your frequency and your vibration, because when you start believing that you are those things, worthy, attracting love, you are raising your vibrations to meet those desires that you want into your life. So practicing affirmations daily, and everybody's affirmations might be different. You know, some that really resonate with me might not resonate with you. I think it all depends on where you are in your healing journey, where you are in your spiritual journey. But affirmations 100%, I think, make a big difference in your life, because I believe your thoughts become your reality. And so if you change those thoughts to positive words of affirmation, you're creating a positive reality for yourself.
I agree. I've heard it put this way before, that, you know, people always say your words have power. And as hard as it is, no one is perfect. You and I are not 100% of the time expressing ourselves the way that we always would like to, even about ourselves or about something else, but there's power in our words. So with affirmations, what I think is, you're carefully choosing those words, you're giving them power. But another thing that I've also heard is that your brain doesn't know when you are joking or not.
100%. 100%.
When you say something, it takes it as the truth. So when Lauren says we're trying to reprogram our brains, it's just saying it becomes true. And I've noticed with people who practice spiritual teachings, I've noticed when they refer to someone's problems, they try to be careful. They say it in the third person, that they don't say, okay, well, she's saying I am this. They say, okay, she said she is this, because they are trying to be careful. They don't take on that person's energy. Or that person's words, whatever they imagine. So affirmations are things we say out loud. They can be true or not, but we want them to be true. We want them to become true. And sometimes it doesn't have to be anything you're fixing, but something you can want to attract.
Yes.
Or something you want to continue to have. And like you said, it can be anything. My list is so long. Oh my goodness.
I don't know about you, but I do easily. I have 15 minutes of just affirmations every morning of things.
The list that I go through, I'm like brushing my teeth, looking at my list. I have it on my phone. So there's so many things, and you can continuously tell yourself these affirmations through the day. If something happens, you can tell yourself, like, that's not who I am. You know, let's fix this.
For example, for any of the viewers that have known, I am currently dealing with a foot injury. And instead of saying I am injured or I am unable to walk, I say I am healing or I am recovering from foot injury. Because again, your words have so much power. And another one is, like, you know, if I'm in a bad mood, let's say something is mentally upsetting me, right? I tell myself, I am so blessed to have this breath of air today. I am so blessed. And that's we're going to go into that a little later, but that is also about practicing gratitude. So affirmations and practicing gratitude, they go kind of hand in hand with each other.
I think we can cover it now. You just said something that before we joined, I asked Lauren, I have an idea. Do you want me to tell you or not? And she decided it should be a surprise. So we're going to go back to our
Oh boy.
spiritual lingo. And you just touched on something on your foot. And I wanted to touch on this in this video and hopefully in a lot of them, because I want to remind anyone watching this. I don't necessarily want to get into the details of all of it, but today I wasn't feeling my best. Wasn't, because I'm going to feel better, because that's always what we want to say.
Yeah.
But also, we might look a certain way. We might look put together. Maybe I put some makeup on. Maybe I curled my hair. You would otherwise not know that I wasn't feeling my best.
Absolutely.
So I wanted anyone watching, and I want to keep repeating this. You know, I have been through some of the hardest times in my life and have not looked like I am having some of the hardest times in my life. So for anyone watching, yes, we want to share this knowledge and this wisdom, but we're all human and we're all going to have those days, but we show up. Here we are. What I learned from some of those hardest times is that you just end up doing what you can, how you can. And I sometimes used to put the pressure on myself of not being 100, what I considered was my 100, until a very wise person told me, whatever you can do today, that is your 100% for today.
Yeah.
Like, and I think with the affirmations, telling yourself that, like, one of them that I do is, I feel well, I'm energized, I look great. Wow. Is that always a fact? Maybe not, but I tell myself.
You believe it. You believe it.
I tell myself that, and I tell myself whatever that is, however I feel, that is the greatest. And, you know, however I look, that is the greatest. Maybe not the most, you know, glam I've ever looked, whatever it might be, but today, you want to live in today and
in the moment and be in that moment, right?
Yes, whatever you can do today, that is going to be your best. And I wanted to touch on that because you're injured and you're here. And I you know, we all have those hard times. And I didn't want anyone to think or to ever think that because we can come on here, because we can have that energy and everything, you know, we're somehow any different than anyone else.
No, not at all. And I really want to touch on the fact that you mentioned what your 100 is to you and how you would be down on yourself if you didn't achieve X, Y, and Z. But then that wise person told you your 100 is what you can do for that day. And that is something I'm personally adapting to right now with my foot injury, because unfortunately I cannot at the moment be my 100 that I had been prior to the foot injury. However, that doesn't mean that I'm not being creative and trying to find out other ways to show up and to just put in the work. And I think that's most important, is put the action in, show up, whether you're not feeling it or whether you are feeling it, because you owe it to yourself, right? I'm suffering, or I'm recovering from a foot injury. But that doesn't mean that I can't do anything else. So I'm so blessed. There you go. I'm so blessed to be able to, one, use my mind to think of creative ways to stay active, to be reaching that 100, to exert that energy and feel like I was active for the day, right? But I'm also able to, let's just say, I'm able to learn more about myself in this whole journey, because having a positive mindset, visualizing where you see yourself going and what you see yourself doing, I think also helps you recover and heal faster. If I'm sitting in my bed and I'm wallowing in my sorrows, oh, I can't move my foot, I can't do my walks, that's not helping me. Now, to each his own, everyone deserves a day like that, right? But we can't stay in that mindset. And I think that is one of the biggest things we're going to talk about today is how can you work on getting a better mindset? And here we go
You
into visualization.
transitioned us perfectly to visualization. Yes, exactly. And yeah. Yeah, and that's what I wanted to, get out there, and I want to get it out each time so people realize, we all go through the same stuff, same struggles, and like you said, it's just about how you move on to that next step, or how you continue, how we grow. And I'll mention the intro we had. I wasn't too happy about that intro. I'm going to work on the quality of the video and everything, but I told Lauren, it's going to get better just like we always do. Our show can continue to grow, just like hopefully the production value will.
The show is going to evolve just like we're going to evolve, just like our community is going to evolve.
Exactly. Hopefully
we can't be stagnant. We can't be stagnant in life.
No. Let's keep going with our lingo, our spiritual lingo. There's visualization. I just had this weird thought of what if there's misspellings in these? I would die.
Well, so far that one looks A-okay in my book.
But visualization. Oh, you know what? This is something that has been huge in my life because I'm artistic. If I see something visually, it is sticking compared to hearing it.
Yeah.
So visualization just sticks. And why? Because when I tell you something, I can tell you a story. It's so different to see the story. And then you really get the picture. So since you started with the affirmations, I'll get started on what visualization is to me and how it can look like. So visualization, I can say that when I first started on my spiritual journey, as creative as I am, because I like to draw and paint and whatever else, and just through this field, media, I've been able to get more creative. But visualization, when it comes to spiritual visualization, it's actually kind of hard. It's completely,
I have to agree.
Completely different than what you imagine when you're like, oh, can you picture this? And it's like, oh yeah, I can picture that.
No
but
problem.
Spiritual visualization, the pictures that you need to form and how you have to believe them and how real they have to be for it to actually work, I will admit is hard even for a creative person. So visualization is imagining that image, whatever it might be, as if it is true. So visualizing myself, if I'm in bed, there's been studies about this where they have like half a basketball team go practice and the other half is visualizing, which is imagining, which is creating a picture of themselves putting that basketball in the net and just scoring. And the people who visualize, don't quote me, but it went something like this, are the ones that actually did better.
I believe it, because your thoughts become your reality.
Because you were and that's where the affirmation. So we started with our words, then it went up here, and from here, it will become physical. So the ones who physically did the work, maybe they were just on autopilot. They weren't actually going through all the steps of what it takes to do that move. But the people who only visualized it, once they did it in person, they did better. So visualization, that's what it is for me. It's creating this image in your mind. But when it comes to spiritual visualization, I will say that it is just to every detail of it, to everything you can imagine in it, believing that it is true and hoping that it's something positive and that will be able to become reality. Lauren.
So I love everything you said, Lily, and I agree with everything that you said. And I really want to hone in on, do you remember when we joined that Tony Robbins meditation visualization YouTube live? that was really the moment when visualization really took a rooted toll in my life, because I know, like, tapping into your third eye and trying to visualize, but someone who's I'm a daydreamer, so I can see, like you said, I can imagine. You tell me, imagine the water at the
Oh wait, is it
Caribbeans.
the Tony Robbins or was it the meditation, the universal meditation we did with the shaman?
It was the shaman. It was the shaman. You're so correct. Thank you for correcting me on that, because that visualization,
Yes,
to
because
this
I remember.
day,
Yes,
that
please
it
explain it.
it stuck out to me so much. And if I could just try to express what it was to the viewers, so that maybe they can get a sense of what visualization is. And so, for example, I am currently on a spiritual journey because I want to achieve my highest Lauren 2.0 self, right? My best, highest self. And so, in order to get to become my best self, I must affirm to myself that I am worthy and I deserve success and all of my affirmations. But then I need to visualize, what does Lauren 2.0 look like? What does she sound like? What does she wear? How does she hold herself, right? How does she carry herself? And one thing I really liked about the visualization that we did with the shaman is he was playing this beautiful, the drums, and that, I think that sets a huge tone. So we'll get into it later, but the resources that you could utilize for visualization, some of them have to do with music, and that will bring you, centering you into a calm state. And he was playing this beautiful music with drums, and he was telling us what to visualize. But obviously, what I visualized wasn't exactly what Lily visualized. And I will never forget him saying, "You see this meadow, green meadow, and in the distance, you're seeing this tree, this large tree of life, right? And as you get closer to it, like, you see the trunk hole or something like that." And then I remember him saying, "You look inside of the hole, and you see, like, water, or like shooting upwards, and you see at the same time this gold radiating from the sun, like streaming downwards into it." And long story short, 'cause I will be here for 30 minutes talking just about that, but long story short, then you visualize this beautiful gold light taking your body and bringing it to the universe, where you meet, you're connected with your karmic soul flame, or maybe you meet just somebody out in the universe who's your guardian angel, whoever you believe. And then they bring you to meet your 2.0 self. And that moment was when I really was able to see Lauren 2.0. Every time prior, I had been struggling with, what does she look like? What is she wearing? How does she hold herself? But let's wrap it all together. Visualization is visualizing you and the life you want to live. Stemming it, bringing it back down to thoughts become your reality. These visualizations are a part of your thoughts. And if you're thinking them and you truly believe that they are true, they're going to project out into your reality.
Yeah. I want to touch on what you just said. The visualization we did, it was through meditation,
Yes.
which is the next word we wanted to cover. And I feel like meditation, I mean, I was hearing it since I was little, and every time it meant something new, something different.
Yes.
And right now, what it means in my life might not mean that for someone who's just starting their spiritual journey. They might not understand why meditation means that for me, and you'll have a different one. But we were doing that visualization work that you mentioned through a meditation, and to me, meditation is being still, and physically, that is, being still physically and controlling your mind. And for someone like me that sometimes can get distracted very easily.
Same girl.
Hence 25-minute video so far. Yeah, and we were down like 3 words. No, we've done so much wisdom we've shared. But
they're here for it.
I couldn't understand. I remember being introduced to meditation, I think, as a child in elementary school with this man, and I can't even remember exactly, but it was a man that was at a bus stop. They were, for some reason, showing us this in school. Older man, he might have looked like a monk, sitting at a bus stop in the city, but not hearing anything around him. Yes, because he was only able to focus on the thought that he wanted and was able to quiet the whole city. And I always had that image in my head. You know, those things that impact you when you're little that they show you and you're like, wait, what? And they just stay with you. Yes. And I always never talked about it. This is the first time I'm talking about it, but I always remember that image of the man and thinking, how is that even possible? How can anyone actually do that? And to now, where, you know, everything in your life kind of makes sense in different ways at different points in your life. And for me, meditation is what he was able to do. Have I reached the level where I could be in the city? I haven't tried it.
Maybe to be continued. Definitely bring that back to us.
I'm not at monk level, obviously, with meditation, but I have been able to, you know, quiet a lot of outside noise and then calm my physical body and then be able to visualize and create whatever it is that I am practicing at that moment. So meditation for me is that. It's being able to calm your physical body and control your mind, which sounds so simple, but yet so hard.
Not very simple. I can definitely testify.
That's what I would say meditation is for me. Lauren.
Okay. So I love that you discussed the monk story, because I think that meditation has, like you said, different meanings in all different aspects and areas of your life. So as you grow, it grows with you. Now, like you said, when I was younger, to me, only monks meditated. I never saw anyone else do meditation. It wasn't something we practiced in school. It wasn't something my mom was doing, you know, so it wasn't in my environment. So for me, I associated meditation with monks. And I said, well, I'm not going to be a monk. So meditation's not for me. Now let's fast forward. I'm 15, 16, 17 years old. Okay. And I'm not sure if the viewers have been able to notice yet, but I am a little ADHD. Love to be here, there. Anything shiny captures my attention very quickly. So I will be honest and share some vulnerable experiences that I had went to a therapist. And I said, listen, I have so much noise in my head and I need assistance with calming myself because it's causing me anxiety. And at that moment, they had said, well, here are some tools that we can provide you that may help. And one of them at the time was meditation. And at that time, at that age in my life, at 15 to 17 years old, I couldn't. I wasn't ready. I tried. I attempted. It wasn't sticking. The glue wasn't sticking. So at that moment, meditation still meant nothing. It was just a facade to me. And that's where some of our viewers might be. They may have tried it and not succeeded and been like, what is it that I'm just not doing right? What is it that... So let me tell you how meditation really took a toll and took a role in my life. I went through a very sad breakup, and I was very upset. I was going through all of those emotional roller coasters, and I again had a lot of loud noise up here, and I couldn't calm it down. And I looked onto YouTube, and which lovely YouTube, we love it. Thank God for technology in today's day and age. But I just was trying because I didn't even know what I needed. I was just trying. Let me search, meditation. I searched meditation, and obviously there's meditation for wanting money. There's meditation for feeling positive. There's meditation, any meditation you want. There's meditation. So at first it was a little overwhelming. However, I just clicked one because again, you never know unless you try. You got to show up and you got to put in the action. So I sat there, and it was like a 15-minute video. And I wouldn't say that it was the end all be all, but it did give me the ability, because it was a guided meditation. Let me explain that. There's a difference between meditating, and then there's also a difference between guided meditation. So for all my newbies out there who may have not really resonated with any meditating before, I would recommend start with a guided meditation.
Yes.
Someone will help you train yourself to quiet the noise. And then this is gonna be transition into another period, but what the big factor with guided meditation to quiet the noise that played a big role for me was the deep breathing exercises.
Ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. So in this guided meditation, they would tell me, focus on your breath. Focus on your breath. Focus on your breath. And I said, okay, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out, I'm breathing in. What's the difference? Now, here's where the gold comes in. It's about deep breathing. Because when you're in an anxiety high state, you don't realize it, but your breath is actually very rapid. Your heart rate goes faster. When you're in an anxious state, your heart beats faster, your breath is a little bit more rapid, causing you to be on a fight or flight mode. Meditation helps ground you, brings you back down to center and reality, right? Sometimes you can't just do that by listening to some nice music, but this is where the breath work comes in. When I was doing the guided meditation, they would say, take a deep breath in, and they would count 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, and then exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let me tell you, and I hope the newbies, I hope you guys could try this, because you could do this for just 1 minute and you will immediately feel the effects of the calm taking over, the peace taking over, your mind hushing a little bit, So I think that meditation and breath work really go hand in hand. But guided meditation helps a lot for people who have never tried it before. Let someone guide you, right?
I completely agree. And I think just like anything, you mentioned a therapist earlier. I went through different therapists growing up that helped me through different situations. I don't think anyone should ever close themselves off to an expert that could help them grow. Whether, there's so many different types of therapists and therapy and different practices, all within the same thing. It doesn't have to be all separate. I know a psychologist that does constellation therapy. She's by trade a psychologist, but started doing constellation therapy, which is spiritual. Now, instead of helping people throughout years, she's able to help people in one day. And she has her background as a doctor that she is to help people with the spiritual thing. So I don't, I love that you brought it up, because I don't think anything should not in one way be connected, and anything that can help anyone. So yes, the breath work, therapy, therapist, the breath work really does. I love that you just transitioned into it from the meditation. It really does help with meditation. And I think what I was getting to with the therapist, don't give up with the meditation or with any practice if you just feel it isn't for you. So with the meditation, I had in the past, even when I had already reached a certain level of meditation where I could go very deeply, and Lauren earlier was explaining about how it was just so powerful for her. That was the first time that she felt like a vibration and felt physical reaction from meditation. That might sound strange to someone that hasn't felt that before, but trust me, it is beautiful. It is magical.
It really
And
is.
you will be impressed at the things your body can do and the things you can achieve through the affirmations and the visualization and the meditation, all of it with the breath work. I will say this, and to someone that maybe is barely getting started in their journey, because we're going through the lingo, you might not understand this now, but you will understand this later. And I just want you to hear it so that when you reach that other level, you understand it. The universe, I've been fortunate, not only has taught me to meditate in one of my first spiritual practices, it had me cross my legs, straighten my back, put my hands on top of, I wish you guys could see it, but I'm doing that typical meditation pose that you see, the silhouette where my hands are right resting on my knees. They're resting just, on top of my knees as my legs are crossed right now. So the universe, while I was doing this spiritual practice, and we'll get into it later, kept straightening my back, kept putting my hands, and if I would slouch, which I love to slouch because I'm tall and it just feels comfortable, it would straighten my back again. And I was like, what in the world? It taught me. I was fortunate, and hopefully one day someone watching this will be able to understand what this even means when I say that the universe taught me to meditate. But the universe, I was fortunate enough, not only did they teach me to meditate, they helped me to concentrate because I couldn't, like you said, quiet my mind as much before. This is all through practice. So don't give up. If you find a meditation, a guided meditation that you don't like, or that's just not connecting to you, the next person might. There's so many different voices. Sometimes I can hear 2 seconds and I'm like, oop, okay, not for me.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's trial and error. And when you find the right one, like Lauren recently had that experience, it changes everything. And then so many things are possible through meditation. Before that, I would be like, what? Like, I just sit here and then I hear myself like, what is
Really? That was what I was doing. I was going through that.
Is it Eat, Pray, Love, where Julia Roberts she's in India and she's like thinking of all these things. And I did it all. Same thing. I wasn't following Eat, Pray, Love. I haven't seen that from when I went to India, but all of it to where I still was not, I took the trip. I thought, oh, that'll help me. And all of it. No, it's just
Eat,
when
Pray, Love. That's the portal to get you into meditation, right? The Eat, Pray, Love movie.
It didn't help me. So many things that didn't help me. And we all have to find our way. Like you said, guided meditation is the best. Breath work. Let's get into breath work. Again, someone watching is like, this lady is saying some stuff I don't understand. Breath work for me, yes, I agree with you, Lauren. It does matter. It helps a lot. I can also say there's different levels of breath work. And there's a lot of practices out there, and there's therapies that are just breath work, and they can do some amazing, impressive stuff. The universe has taught me how to breathe more deeply, and you might be like, why does that matter?
Why does that matter?
I'm breathing anyway. What do you mean breath work? So breath work for me is not only that deep breathing, like Lauren mentioned, which is so important to start with. Yes, the counting, sometimes you're going to have to start with that. You're going to have to actually think about it, but later it will just become nature, second nature. So initially, yes, counting your breaths, But I will add this is to do it as deeply as you can. And what can that look like? You can put your hands on your stomach and just feel your diaphragm fully expand, because you want to make sure it's from your diaphragm. So I'll give you guys a tip for speaking for a living. Sometimes you have to keep going and going and going, and you can't hold your breath so long. But if I tell you, take a deep breath. So let's see, I've never asked Lauren this. This is all trial and error here. Lauren, take a deep breath.
All right, ready?
Yes. Okay. Perfect example. Lauren, when you take a deep breath, you don't want to move your shoulders.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And you want to keep your upper body as still as possible to make sure that it's all coming from your diaphragm. Which is right here. So what you do is you're going to put your hands. This is perfect for our description. You're going to put your hands, and I'm not an expert. This is all my knowledge. Put your hands on your diaphragm. They're right underneath your rib cage. You can feel your rib cage. Your rib cage ends like this, so you can put your hands and you can feel it right underneath. Okay, so you're going to put your hands and you're going to breathe in. So you're going to not move your shoulders, but expand your stomach.
Oh, wow. You can feel the stomach pop out.
But not here. Because when we go, it's here. We don't want it necessarily be here. That can create tension too. So what we want to do is just extend our diaphragm. And then when we let go of it, we want to really all but not moving, but feeling your stomach sink in all the way in when you let it go. And it might not look pretty too. To get the deep breath work out there, you might have to go you know, it can be like a full release. And what that does is it lets go of a lot of things too, all that energy, which is what we're trying to do to relax ourselves. Yes. There's no perfect way of doing breath work. This is the way that I do it. I know I mentioned the shoulders. People be like, well, that's how I breathe in. But I will tell you that this helps to have that bigger breath. Is our diaphragm holding it in there. And you can also, when you're speaking, what I meant to get to was you feel your diaphragm. Right now, my diaphragm is completely expanded, but I'm not letting it go. And that'll allow me to continue to speak. And once I run out of breath, I still have not run out of breath. I can keep speaking. My diaphragm is still full. I haven't run out. This is all on one breath. I haven't taken another breath. I can keep going. So I took a slight breath there, but my diaphragm is still full. If you keep your diaphragm full, you'll never run out of breath, because when you run out, let me try to run out completely. Then you can.
This is impressive, guys. This is interesting.
No, you can use your diaphragm to give you that extra breath. So,
wow. You just taught me so much right now, Lily. I cannot wait to implement this when I do my meditation later.
That is all just, my idea of breathwork. That's what breathwork is to me. And like I said, the universe will help each person find their own definition, find their own way to do it. Those are my tips. That is my tips for them.
Can we also bring up the fact that there's all different types of breath work? How about I might be saying this wrong, but the pranaya deep breathing, where it's like, what now? Do you know more about that? Can you maybe divulge into what is the purpose of that one?
Probably. I keep thinking, I'm like, what was I thinking trying to share this stuff with people when all my answer is, so the universe taught me.
No, you've been blessed with some amazing mentors and shamans and beautiful people in your life.
Why the universe is teaching me so much. So the universe has taught me a lot of different ways to do breath work, but the universe is not speaking to me with actual human words, so I don't have a definition for them. But have I practiced different breath works? Yes.
Why did you do that type of breathing? Can you give me a reason why that breath work worked for you that moment?
Yes. Okay. So the universe doesn't tell me why I'm Girl.
People want, I want to talk to the universe. I need to tap into this universe. I think that's our next segment, how to tap into the universe.
My next spiritual lingo word is universe. And like, what does that mean? Everything. So when I say universe, I mean everything. I mean all of the heavens above. So the universe has had me do breath work in different ways to activate my body. So when I've done different breath work, a bit, a little bit faster pace, they guide me to do it. They, as in, the energy is around
The
me.
divine, yeah, whoever is watching you.
Do it. And what that does is it activates your body in the most magical way, very similar to how you said you felt that vibration from the meditation.
So
it can
magical.
activate your entire body, and it's not just to feel a sensation. I don't want anyone to think it's just like, oh, you feel this vibration and then what. So it activates your body to get ready for a certain practice you might be doing, whether that is visualization through meditation. So you can do the breath work before, and it might facilitate your body, your physical body, to be able to do a practice that you're trying to achieve,
I think that when we did that beautiful meditation, I think we did do the pranayama breathing. I think, if you remember, I'm not sure.
I think we might have sped up our breathing with the drums.
It was, you know what? It was just, I think, about syncing up with the drums, and that's what it was. Syncing with, and let me tell you, fam, squad, the amount of benefits that come from the breath work. If you've never given yourself the opportunity to just sit down and be still and just try it. And I wanted to bring it back a little bit. There are much more resources than just YouTube. I mean, I personally use some apps that I swear by every night. I got this one app called Balance. So whoever is the creator of Balance, thank you. I am your biggest fan. And for example, not only do they have guided meditations, they have meditation programs. So like, you learn different tools for meditating. But also, like, for me, I love having meditation music on at night. And so like that app will provide me with some really deep sleep music. And I just want to, say that the amount of benefits that I have from being someone who was never able to meditate to now, I'm still in the very beginning stages. And I want everyone to know, I'm going to keep it full transparent. I took a break. Sometimes you want to meditate. Sometimes you just need a mental break. And so I'm just getting back into my meditation. Mm-hmm. And just like with anything, practice makes perfect. Showing up and learning from mistakes, learning from, okay, today was not my best meditation day, but I learned something from it. What did I gather from it? And the benefits, like Lily was saying, you're not just getting the sensation, but it's almost like a reinvigoration of like, now I have this energy to apply it to whatever goal or task or visualization I had. I am now like reinvigorated, re-inspired. A fire is under my butt, Yeah. And so that's where it all ties in together, and it all comes in, and it's all kind of intertwined. But, it really comes down to, you just got to show up and you got to try. You never know unless you try.
I fully agree. And like I said, keep trying. Even if something in you is telling you to seek content like this, it means you're ready. So keep trying until you find whatever, that time might be. That's when it'll be, when you find that right thing. The timing will be when it needs to be. And hopefully, if you don't know much about this. One day you'll understand all the weird things that I say when I say the universe is teaching me. We might get more into it, but it really does get very complicated. And I don't want to just throw all of that into something like this where we're going over
like beginner
just
stage, right? Beginner level.
Yeah, I mean, it can be at any stage, because I can find the definition of something right now that maybe if I found the definition previously, I'm looking for a different one at this level. So hopefully between you and I, we can provide what that definition might be for that person, and they can connect to it no matter what level they're at. I wanted to get to this next one because you were mentioning the apps. I want to add to the apps that you were saying another one that I used to use. Like you said, sometimes you use stuff, sometimes you don't. I didn't necessarily outgrow it. It's just that I'm doing different practices right now that I stopped using this app. It's called the Isha app. ISHA. Sadhguru is someone that I previously followed a lot of his content. I learned a lot from him. I don't necessarily want to say that I agree with everything he's ever said, nor would I say that about anyone, but I do recommend. He does have a lot of good practices. There's meditations on his app. It is free. It'll send you a daily notification with a great little quote that can get you inspired. Those are good notifications to get, because sometimes we get a lot of notifications that just aren't adding anything to our life. So those are good ones. I stopped using that app, but I used it for a long time, and I fully recommend it. There's also The Secret, the book, for people that are barely getting started in all of this. It's one of the beginner books I would suggest. There's also a movie, which I never watched, but I read the book, and The Secret has an app. And it'll send you stuff. And The Secret is similar to what we were saying about the affirmations, visualization, whatever you think will happen. It's about the law of attraction. And that all has to do with attracting things, but you will attract them when you say them, when you think them, when you act them out. So,
and just to on the end of your apps that you were discussing, in regards to affirmations, there is a beautiful app called I Am, and just like you said, it will give you notifications, and it will be daily affirmation reminders. And you might be in a glum state, and then you see on your Apple Watch, it pops up and it goes, I am enough, or I am right where I'm supposed to be. And it's like 5 seconds. That 5 seconds, every millisecond counts, right? That 5 seconds changes my thought pattern, changes my energy. Right?
Yeah, and we're not sponsored by any of these companies.
No.
Advertising in any way, or do we agree with everything that they believe in? But I do recommend that. I love that, because
I wanted to share some of the resources that I personally use. I stand by them, and you know what? If they want to give me a little shout out, great. But if not, I'm gonna support them, and I'm gonna recommend them. I would do it to my best friend. I would recommend it to my best friend, so I want to recommend it to the followers here.
Exactly. And I know we are really extending our video. So although we promised to talk about our daily routine at the end of this, we might have to do it in a 2-part section. Tell me what you think, Lauren. Should we do the daily routine in a separate video?
Because we're going to think that we've touched on daily routine, but we haven't divulged into it in too much detail. So maybe that should be a whole other segment.
So we're going to finish with journaling. We have gone through a lot of our daily routine through all of this. So hopefully that helps you guys with starting the day with affirmations. They can be just one word. I mean, just a couple of words for you. It doesn't have to be a long list. Going back through that, it can just be like, I love myself today, period. If that's all you can tell yourself today, that's all you can do. If you can't visualize too much in the beginning, just imagine yourself with a smile on your face. And that's it.
That's huge. That one right there is huge.
For meditation, like if you can't reach that level of meditation yet, that's fine too. Just sit for a minute.
You owe it to yourself to at least try. Just sit and try.
1 minute. sit. You don't have to sit on the floor. Maybe that's not physically possible for you. You can be lying down.
You can lay in your bed. Yeah.
I will say 99% of my meditation is happening me
Lay
lying
down.
down in my bed. And again, because of previous health issues, that was the only way that I could. So that's the way that I did it. It is possible. You can reach it. You can even do meditation while you're at work for 1 minute.
You can meditate while you're driving, which I don't always recommend. It's not the safest. But listen, you could put on the sounds. Oh, Lily's not here for it. So this is the difference between the East Coast and the West Coast, okay? I am on a New York minute. Every minute counts. I need to make every minute count.
Listen to great content while you are driving, but do not put on meditation music.
I mean, sometimes the NASCAR racer comes out of me when I'm behind that wheel. So it's honestly in everybody's best interest.
Our warnings at the beginning of these videos to driving, it is not recommended, and you should not do it while you're
I'm not saying close your eyes. I'm saying this is an eye-opening, which I don't know if you do know this, Lily, but you can do walking meditations. Like you can do meditations with your eyes open. I think everyone has this belief that, I need to be sitting, my eyes closed. No, I can walk in the nature and meditate,
Run when you're driving, though.
Okay, so let's not recommend doing it with driving.
No, every other place, yes.
There you go. New York is on a New York minute, and I gotta meditate wherever I can.
West Coast, we're like slow down. Okay, as we wrap it up, journaling, I'm gonna let Lauren take over this because I will admit that my previous mentors and shamans have, one of them in particular, really pushed the journaling, and I did start initially. It wasn't my thing. I love writing. I have many times written for a living only, and most of my stuff I do on camera, but I love writing. I do love writing. When I was younger, I thought I was going to be Sex in the City, speaking of the East Coast. I thought I was going to be writing for a magazine.
You were going to be Carrie.
I really thought that. Obviously, kind of stayed in the industry, but things change. I'm not her. But Lauren, you actually do this, and I feel like you really have gotten committed to doing this. I feel like you have found a lot of benefit to this.
Oh my goodness, I love it. I am the biggest spokesperson for journaling. Anybody who knows me knows that I can talk, and now whenever I try to keep my mouth quiet, the same amount of words come out, but now on paper. So, no, what does journaling do? I love journaling because, again, I got a lot of thoughts going on up here in my head. And I have learned that I experience a lot of relief and a lot of quiet noise and a lot of calmness, a lot of peace, a lot of just stillness after I get everything that's in my head on paper. So now there's two different types of journaling that I do. One is, let's say, let's say I want to just journal about the beautiful day, right? That is one beautiful journal. It's like a Dear Diary, right? But then my new thing that I am so passionate about, and I truly believe that this helps with manifestation, which will be something we should discuss in a whole other segment. But if you guys are interested in manifesting, which we will touch more about on later, journaling goes hand in hand with that because, and like we spoke about earlier, visualization goes hand in hand with this. So when I'm journaling to manifest, right, I am journaling in a future self sense. So I am journaling as the Lauren 2.0 that I want. So if I imagine Lauren 2.0 is living in Malibu with the ocean right there in my backyard, right? And I'm, driving my custom Porsche Cayenne Sport, right? Whatever. That are the things that I'm visualizing that I'm wanting to manifest, right? So I will write.
Uh-oh. Lauren disappeared on us. Where'd you go?
Wait, did I just?
You're back. Oh, you're gone again. And there you are. What is happening?
I think we're too long. It's an hour already. Is it too long?
No.
Okay, so let's continue. We're good. It's back on. We lost our music.
No, it's still there.
Okay. Anyway, so technical difficulties. We'll edit that one out. So when I am journaling as my Lauren 2.0, I am writing how my day went, but it's a made up day. It is what I wish my days will look like. And you don't know what your days, you don't know what you want until you sit down and take the time to get to know yourself. Be still, be quiet, meditate, and see what comes into your head. That will start the visualization process. And that's when you'll start to say, oh, I see me looking like this, or oh, I want X, Y, or Z that comes into my head. So then the way to make your thoughts really come to reality a little bit faster by putting those wants, desires, those needs on paper. The universe feels the action, the divine, whoever you are speaking about, they see the aligned action that you're taking. And you're putting in the effort to show up as that best self that you were envisioning, right? So every time I journal, as I'm already living the life that I have been desiring, right? That I have been dreaming of and meditating on. Every time that I journal and every time that I practice gratitude, which is a huge piece, practicing gratitude, even just for waking up today and breathing and having this moment with you. Every time I do that, I have noticed maybe the journaling doesn't come true right away, but there's always a sign that you're on the right path. You are working towards it. Universe sees it, and we're trying to get you to where you want to be. So journaling, like I said, it could be whether it's a Dear Diary, it helps you release those thoughts, which gives you a clearer mind, or the manifesting journaling, where you are really focusing on the life you want to have as if it is already currently here now. And I want to say that, my friends, gratitude is everything. Let's talk about gratitude. What are you most grateful for, Lily? Oh, that's a loaded question.
Currently, at this moment, my health and my spirituality. Just when I'm talking about only myself, that's what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my health, my spirituality, which has brought me a lot of wisdom, and I have mentioned already a few times, previous health struggles. So I think that has just brought me to appreciate my health that much more, even though we are young and overall very, very healthy and will continue to be very healthy. That's what I would say. I would say currently at this moment, to be able to sit here, do this, speak, share wisdom, share our knowledge, and I think that is all because we are healthy enough to do it, and we maybe not, like you said, have this injury that is healing. You are healing from your injury, but you're still overall very healthy and very fortunate. So I think that's what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for being able to have the energy to speak, to move, to create at this moment, because that's all we need is today. Today I have this energy. That might, for some people watching, they might not have that energy at this moment. but I will also say that sometimes we need to charge ourselves, recharge, and then really figure out what we're going to use that energy for. So you have chosen to use your energy for this.
Yeah.
And that might mean after this, we don't have the same amount of energy, but we have put it out for you guys. We have given you our energy today. So having the health to do that and having the spirituality to be able to share. So go ahead. As we finish here, what are we grateful for?
So I have to agree that because I am healing from my injury, I am so grateful for the strength that my body has, for my health, because I am not stuck. I am able to continue to move and to do things. I am grateful for the energy to show up today. I am grateful to have the opportunity to share my story with you guys. And I'm really grateful. Just, it's the little things in life, but I'm really grateful for the lights that are on right here. I'm really grateful for the roof that's over my head. I'm really, really grateful for the clean water that I get to turn on my faucet and I'm good. So it's little things like that I try to remind myself I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky that, I might be having an injury, but it could be worse. I'm so lucky that I have the energy, because if I didn't have the energy to show up, I wouldn't be able to deliver this beautiful message today to whoever needed to hear it. And I'm just so grateful to have the opportunity to show up here with you, to be able to work with you, because I know that we are putting together a beautiful thing that is, someone out there needs what we are delivering. And we are so lucky to be able to be in this position to give someone that they need.
And even if it's just a couple people, honestly, through the years, just without even meaning to, I've been fortunate enough to have people say that my story or anything I've shared has helped them. And just those people, even if it's private, has really just, made it all worth it. Because I maybe initially didn't have that in mind, but this time we really do. This time we really do want to share this information to hopefully help someone. And I hope that we do. I know that whoever this reaches, it'll be meant for them and it'll help them. And we are grateful for anyone who might have watched this entire hour. My goodness gracious. If you hear me saying this, and I have since cut this up into a few videos, don't worry, you can have to watch an hour all at once, but if you just want to binge watch us, then yes, you will watch hours of us because we can talk.
We can.
We have a lot to share.
We sure do. But I want everyone here to know that, like Lily was saying just before, she has had such a great impact on others. She impacted me and helped me start my own spiritual journey. And you don't even realize that it could be the people that you are surrounded with. Surround yourself with people of love and light and that want the best for you. We are on opposite coasts, and I know if I am in a tough time, I can reach out to Lily, and whether she may have the answer or not, she can at least provide me a little bit of light, a little bit of love. And everybody needs that.
As you said that, sending love and light to all watching.
Yes.
Share your lingo and meaning with us. Tell us, maybe you have a different definition for everything you're saying.
Absolutely. Leave us a comment and tell us what some lingos we didn't think of.
Yes. We grow and learn together. We are grateful for you. And maybe someone wants to join our chat next time and tell us what their lingo is.
Oh my gosh, do we have a guest speaker? That's beautiful.
We have the possibility to bring people on here if they want to share their journey, to share their lingo, to share whatever it is, as long as you want to do it with a lot of love. We are willing to welcome you, whoever you are. So join us. It won't be an hour long, but it might be long.
I'm here for it. I'm here for all the new energies. Just bring all your love to us. We send love
Thank
back.
you so much. We are so grateful for everyone watching, and we can't wait to share more with you guys.
To be continued. So until we see you again, sending lots of love.